Hi, today I have a message called You Haven't Done Anything Wrong. Starting with you can resonate with the peace in anything. And that's nice to see because it takes my attention away from anything especially positive or especially negative. Ego might be holding out to me as a little tidbit or a lure to attach to. And now I can see more clearly how it feels when I attach. It seems more like a bad idea than a good one. But resonating with the peace that's present everywhere, well, that's peaceful. And not only is it peaceful, it provides guidance. It provides everything I need to say or do. To whatever extent I'm allowing it, to whatever depth I'm allowing it. So it makes everything very simple and very obvious in a way that doesn't require what I would call my own judgment. And yeah, I have gratitude for that, for having the path be made clear and the path be cleared in front of me and the way made obvious and easy. And I can see that if it can happen or does happen for me like that, then that gift is here for everyone. And in relationship is where we get a chance to put that into practice, to share this. And it always seems to be, we're required to go a layer deeper and a layer deeper. That's where the challenge seems to come in relationship of any kind. And that's just the place where we get to work today. That's just the place where we get to learn and unlearn today. And that opportunity is for all of us, and it benefits all of us. Okay, nothing is without peace because it is all of one piece. So there's this trickiness. There's this trickiness about the surface, especially where it seems the separate I can get easily triggered by maybe a certain type of behavior or a certain type of expression. Or it might be something I think I'm not used to, so it's new and I don't know how to process it, like I'm trying to judge and categorize it, and I can't. It seems unfamiliar. But to see that there's no need to judge, categorize, analyze it, dominate it, make a plan, respond to it in a defensive way. There's no need for this. Even though I'm still doing it to some extent, because that's our knee-jerk, right? That's what we taught ourselves very carefully to do. But now we're kind of falling out of this pattern, and we're falling out of this pattern together. So we can give everybody as much grace as there is, which is endless grace and endless patience and endless love. Because we're all bumping into and learning how to fall out of these old patterns together. So even if I seem to be looking in a direction and it seems the surface I see is the absolute opposite of peace, it really doesn't matter. And this enrages ego, because one of ego's defenses, making the separate self real, is to make rage is just one of the ego's expressions, from positive to negative. Ego could be sweet, ego could be enraged, ego could be any of these things. It doesn't matter what the costume is. Because as we are under the costume, we're all the same thing. We're all of one piece. And it doesn't matter how one aspect of us appears right now, even if that aspect seems to be the exact opposite of peace. In truth, peace has no opposite. And we can always serve each other. We might not know how, exactly how, just yet to serve each other best. And that's okay, because we learn together. And it may seem some of us are expressing or suppressing. Maybe you just feel the vibe around somebody and they're not expressing it. Or they are expressing loudly great, deep pain. And that's okay too. It's all okay. It's okay if we feel helpless and we don't know how to respond. Because if we can just recognize and remember that no matter what, their nature is peace, and that by learning how to look in the direction of peace and see the reality of that within their hearts, it will expand. It will expand, and it will become noticeable to everyone. That's the truth of them. That can't go away. The surface that seems to be very emotional, very loud, very expressive, that's temporary. And if the surface of them appeared quiet and sweet, and that's temporary, right? But the emanation from within, the surface is not the important thing. The emanation from within, as far as we allow it to emanate, that's permanent. So it's safe to put our attention on what's permanent. Even if it still seems within time or space, I don't seem to be extremely helpful. Be patient with yourself in this time. That's okay. It's okay for them and it's okay for you. Everybody's unlearning old patterns. Everybody's learning what's here for everyone here in this moment and how very helpful it is, and how to serve as a means of expression for what is actually here for all of us in this moment. But if it seems you're in first grade in terms of your ability to express and share the love that's here for all of us in this moment, that's perfectly fine. You are loved, you are blessed, you are carried, you are innocent along with everyone. And what needs to become obvious both to you and to everyone will become obvious. So just put your focus there. You're all of one piece with each other, and that's what matters. Not trying to interpret or analyze how well anyone is doing or how deficient anyone is. None of that. Okay. If you believe that you can be the innocent victim of anything, it actually means that you believe you are guilty. So innocence is guilt. Isn't that fantastic? If I claim relative innocence for myself, I'm claiming guilt, and I ought to be very accustomed to that, because that's the old knee-jerk. That's the pattern we're used to here. Claiming guilt, seeing guilt out there. That's what we're used to. That's our old normal, right? So that's like no big deal. We're used to that. That's another day. But let's say you yell at me, right? Or you seem to have a very heavy presence. I can't be the innocent victim of you. That's not a possibility. If I'm really kind of tuned into that, oh, someone's yelling at me and therefore I'm diminished, right? We ought to be used to that record playing in the record player. We put it on there. We produced the record. We put it on the record player. We started it. Like, we did all of that. I have done this thing, and it is this I wouldn't do. If I fall for that again, that I'm the innocent victim of a disturbance that came from someone or something or someplace else, it's okay. I'm falling for it again. But it doesn't feel good to fall for my same old trick again and not see myself as the source of all disturbance that I experience. That doesn't mean that I myself am a disturbance. It just means I got myself caught in a pattern of experiencing disturbance. And I taught myself how to forget that peace is the true nature of everyone and everything. And I taught myself how to turn away from the ability to tune into the peace that's present with everyone and within everyone and everything, and to be led from there. So it's like a very carefully learned habit of turning away from myself. Myself is that piece in you. And then closing myself in a loop of repeating disturbing experiences. That's okay. But now we emerge from the loop. We take responsibility for everything we experience, every little tiny moment of disturbance. We take responsibility for it. And we remember how to tune into, to plug into, to recognize as ourself the peace that's present everywhere, and to let everything unfold from there. And it is perfectly okay if it doesn't seem to be the easiest thing to do at first. If it doesn't seem to go smoothly right at first. That's okay, because just being aware that this is your nature, to be this peace and to see it everywhere, because it is everywhere, that's enough. That gets the ball rolling, and that sets a path in front of you, and it's a path you can walk and you can follow, and it's a path you end up walking with everyone in equality, in the equality you share with everyone. While you haven't done anything wrong, you may still perceive that you have done wrong. When things seem to go wrong, we do one of two things, or we do both of them. We say things have gone wrong because something is wrong with someone or something else. It's other than us. Or we look at ourselves as a separate, cut-off entity. I'm different than things, I'm different than people, I'm this cut-off individual person. And we blame our separate self. Or we might do both of those. So that's perception of wrongdoing, or wrong being, if something, a physical object isn't working for us, and we kind of blame the thing. It's not doing it right. But if no one has ever done anything wrong, then what are we up to here? If peace cannot be a wrongdoer, and you are peace, and so is everyone else, and you're all connected in peace, then what are we about here? What have we been doing? We have been seeing wrongdoing enacted. And the only way I can see wrongdoing enacted, vocal emphasis for me, is if that's what I want to see. And when I finally get tired of the toy of wrongdoing, the perception of wrongdoing that I invented, and I finally only want to see the piece that is actual, not any of the window dressing. I project fear and I see the window dressing. And the window dressing takes either positive or negative forms. It doesn't matter which one, as long as they're in opposition to each other. And that's what I see and judge and cause to repeat in my perception. But when I finally get tired of playing with this and being entertained, entranced, hypnotized by it, in this loop, it's a loop, right? Nobody put me in it but me, no matter what tales or legends exist out there about somebody else putting us under their control, and we're being stuck in this loop because of someone that is other than us. I can delay by believing a tale or legend like that, but that's optional. I have done this thing, and it is this I can undo. I can allow it to be undone for me. And so all wrongdoing, no matter who it seems to belong to, is not anything that a separate self corrects. It's just a perception that gets corrected for us upon our request. That would be the miracle. We're finally ready to see things as they are and as they always have been, and they can be shown to us that way. Form is very flexible. form is not, how form can appear to me is not limited by what I remember happened yesterday. And we're coming into this awareness together. We're coming into the awareness of what we can allow together. We're coming into the ability to allow the undoing, the perception correction together, because we are all of one piece. And there's no need to reinforce perception with judgment. So if I seem to see the same old, ego is going to be right there to judge it. And ego is going to offer me solutions and responses that are based on defending my separate self. And there are layers where it seems I can't get out of that right now. That doesn't seem feasible. And that's fine. But there are also layers of this protection of the separate self where it really seems like how I see things can be completely turned around. And that's fine. That's where Spirit will work with us. Where there's a wiggle, Spirit will work with us, and Spirit's working with us, Spirit being who you truly are with everyone, Spirit's working with us will affect all those other areas where we're not really seeing any wiggle room. It just seems to be that's that and that's a fact. That's no problem for Spirit. Where there's wiggle room, Spirit will work with us and show you how much wiggle room there is everywhere. So where we feel the sting or the heaviness or the disturbance of judgment, we can know it's because of me. I attach to thoughts, and the thoughts cause the feeling. And now I can work with Spirit. I can put my focus on what we all are together, on where we are together as one piece. I can focus in that direction and then let everything become obvious to me from there. It kind of feels like you focus there for a moment, you let go, you move on, and then seemingly later it'll hit you out of the blue. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Oh, this is the direction I'm going now. So that's fun to see. And when the judgment comes in, if I attach to the judgment, it's going to reinforce the loop of suffering I've kept myself in, and the loop of suffering that I perceive others to be in. I keep perceiving them in that loop of suffering again, and then again, and then again. So the way I'm thinking about them is very important, and I do not need to reinforce my perception with judgment. So reorienting, I can remember, what am I focusing on today? Forgiveness is the only gift I give. Is that what it is? Yeah. And that seeing through whatever ego, positive or negative, tells me you are, to the truth of you, which is very simple and very beautiful, and it's shared with everyone and it's shared with me. It's all one piece. I learn to focus here, and everything can become clear. In gentle yet obvious ways. So thank goodness. Thank goodness we can detach and look and receive and allow the goodness that's here for all of us to flow. And thank goodness that even though it's still intense and difficult at times, there is a sane way of responding in every situation. And in every perceived situation, everyone involved is fully loved and worthy. And they are that love just as you are. So there's a lot of beauty to see here. Even when it seems like these ancient loops of suffering are still ongoing, are still repeating, there's a lot of beauty we can see. Okay, thank you.